Hello everybody, Calamity here, and I wish Mizuki would eat my dreams. Today's video is going to be a really just short, not really updated guide because not much has changed since my last one, but a short guide on how I build SIGEWINNE for those that are pulling for her on her first rerun banner. So we're just going to quickly go over everything, just really fast. Again, if you want a more in-depth guide, I already have one on my channel where I talk about everything in more detail. But first, let's just go ahead and go over the talents. First of all, the normal attack is something you can just go ahead and just skip. If you want to just save your talent materials, focus on her elemental skill and her elemental burst. Mainly the elemental skill, because this is where all of her healing comes from. We don't really care about the normal attacks. Burst can be okay for some damage, but nothing to write home about. So the skill, just really quick, how it works is that SIGEWINNE will shoot a bubble, bounces around. As it bounces, it'll damage enemies, or if it just bounces around the environment, it'll heal all of your teammates, and it does this 5 times. And then on the final time, if we look at the final bounce healing, it does 50% of SIGEWINNE's max HP, which is a huge burst in healing. So real quick math, if you have 40k HP on SIGEWINNE, then she'll heal 20k, which is a really big heal, and really nice. You can also charge her elemental skill by holding the button, and if you do, the bubble will grow in size and will also heal and damage 10% more. But it will lose size with each bounce, so it'll go back down to 5%, and then it'll go back down to the default. So keep that in mind when using SIGEWINNE. The burst is pretty straightforward. She's gonna take out this gigantic syringe and shoot out what the game calls waves of kindness and medicine at your enemies, and it does AoE hydro damage based off her max HP. It's okay. It does do some damage. If you buffer with characters like Farina or something, it'll do okay-ish damage. Again, nothing to really write home about without some heavy investment, and it's not that impressive. It's good for just like clearing out some trash mobs is what I use it for, or just to apply a bunch of hydro to get some crystallizes and stuff for my Navia. Next up is her Ascension talent. This is her unique buff where when you use her elemental skill, she gains what's called the semi-strict bed rest effect. And this does 2 things. It gives SIGEWINNE an 8% hydro damage bonus, and then it will give her 10 stacks of convalescence. What this is that it will boost your elemental skill damage of another character that isn't SIGEWINNE based off her HP. And you can read right here at the bottom, it says the max you can gain is 2,800 additional damage to your elemental skill. So it's not that crazy big. It's not like Bennett levels of like insane increase, but it is something. She does synergize well with elemental skill-based characters. You know, think Navia, think Yaimiko. Fischl could be another example of someone that can benefit from SIGEWINNE's buff here. So just to give you some examples. The other Ascension talent is a huge increase to her healing, up to 30% more healing based off your team's bonds of life. So this is only like Fontaine character specific. Characters like Chlorine, for example, who have a bond of life, and a few others. Like Arlecchino also has it, but she's a bad example because she can't get healed. But basically, the more bonds of life you have, the more healing that SIGEWINNE does. And last but not least is Emergency Dose. Honestly, it is kind of least. This is only usable in underwater areas, so Fontaine. If you fall under half your character's HP, she'll heal it all the way back up. However, you will have an increased, a decreased elemental and physical resistance of 10% for 10 seconds. So keep that in mind. If you're struggling with a boss or something, she'll heal you back up, but you might find yourself back in that same situation in no time with the extra damage you're going to be taking. So next up is weapons. For weapons, I have a signature weapon, but you don't need to give her that. The best ones you can give her are a recurve bow, which is a 3-star bow. You can get this as early as Mondstadt. It just gives you a bunch of HP, which is all we care about when building SIGEWINNE. And if you want one for free, come on over to Inazuma and literally like off the dock where you spawn in the village of Rito. You want to talk to this guy, Nakano. Just short conversation with him, blah, 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 blah. There should be an option here. I don't have it anymore because I picked it, obviously. But there should be like a treasure chest next to it. You want to pick that one, and it'll say like, oh, I have this bow that I don't use, blah, 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 blah. Here, you can have it. and then you'll get a free recurve bow. I recommend it for new players out there that don't want to pull for her weapon, and are, you know, don't have a lot of options in general. There you go, recurve bow. And you don't even need to refine it at all. Just level it up and you're good to go. But the other really good weapon that you can give SIGEWINNE is a Favonius bow. This is like the universal support bow. Good on so many characters, and SIGEWINNE is no different. It's going to make it so that when you crit, she gives more energy to the entire team. Her burst does a lot of instances of damage, which is really good for proccing the weapon's effect, so more energy. That's pretty much it for weapon recommendations. For artifacts, I went with Songs of Days Past. This just gives her more buffs to the team. If you don't want to do that, there are other options. If you look at the artifact recommendations that they all put up here, you can just do 2-piece Tenacity, 2-piece Vorakasha, and that's 40% HP. More healing, but no buffs. And if you want SIGEWINNE to do a bit more damage, Ocean Hued Clam 4-piece set. We can see here, HP percentage is the most popular main stat in all 3 categories. You can do healing bonus, I guess, for the circlet, but better just to go HP percentage for all 3. And yeah, that's all you really care about is HP percentage. Crit rate if you went Favonius Warbow. Flat HP is good. Some energy recharge is okay, but not needed at all. It's not even recommended here. And that's simply because she has good energy sustain already from her talent, so she doesn't really need that much energy recharge, but because you only need HP percentage, you might as well fit in some extra substats that will actually help you out. All of the artifact sets have the same build anyway, so just want as much HP as you can get on your SIGEWINNE. Mine is at C0, but if you want to invest even more into SIGEWINNE, feel free to do so. Her C1 is actually pretty good. It gives her more bounces on her elemental skill and increases the buff from 2800 to 3500. So it's a decent damage boost there, but again, the buff itself is still pretty underwhelming, to be honest, but it's like 2 effects in 1, which is nice. C2 makes it so that her skill and burst reduce Hydro resistance of your opponents by 35% for 8 seconds. Good to pair her up with any Hydro DPS, or even Farina. C3 and C5, as you know, skill and burst, more healing, more damage. C4 just extends the duration of her burst by 3 seconds. C6 basically turns her into a DPS, at least with her burst. And this is the team that I use with SIGEWINNE. You don't have to copy it. I know it's super free to play friendly, right? But just as an example of like a team you could use with SIGEWINNE, she's a great counter for Farina's HP drain on your entire team because of her constant heals. So your HP is going to be constantly going up and down for easy fanfare stacks. Shilinen is just here to deal more damage with the resistance shred for Navia. And the Navia, obviously a elemental skill damage dealer, benefits from SIGEWINNE's buff. And these two play off each other because of the constant Hydro application and Navia's burst also doing a bunch of Geo application. You know, a lot of crystallizes, so big damage for Navia, and she builds her bullets pretty fast with this team up. And that's a lot of buffs, a lot of healing. It's safe, it's comfy. I'm able to clear Spiral Abyss and Imaginarium Theater on the hardest difficulty with ease and without feeling like I'm in any danger. And just FYI, all of these characters are at C0, refinement 1. So no whale levels of investment here. But again, she is a healer, so you don't have to use her in this specific team. It could be her and Farina plus anybody you want. Or it could just be SIGEWINNE in any team you want. She's a healer, put her anywhere you need healing, except maybe like a Hu Tao team, and you're good to go. And that's pretty much it for this video. It just didn't need to be that long. It's short. SIGEWINNE's easy to use, easy to build, you know, easy to play around with. So hopefully this is helpful to someone out there that's pulling for SIGEWINNE. Good luck on your pulls. If you have any extra questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll do my best, me and the 10 other SIGEWINNE mains out there. Before I go, one last tip that I forgot to mention is that if you accidentally press SIGEWINNE's burst on accident, you can cancel it early by simply just jumping, or I think you can even sprint out of it to cancel it if you need to. And yeah, other than that, that's it. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. You know, it helps me out a lot, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.